Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Diamond Flix.
Atlanta's popular for the wings and the strippers.
Okay.
During COVID, I just had this like this Pan-African like revolution in my head. I was like, dang, it's lit out here. Like, this is not, and my whole family was like, oh my God, you're going to Africa? Like, make sure he doesn't sell you. Black and American, you have money, people treat you different. So my parents have money.
Okay.
I went to Howard University. I went to the best public schools. I went to private school before then. So there's been things that I've been sheltered from. My parents haven't put me in racist spaces, or I've never been like disenfranchised, you know, in that type of way.
What's happening in America? And I'm sure him and every Kenyan is sick of fucking corruption.
I get that. And you can be tired of that without supporting someone who's an ass. You could say, I want someone who is against corruption, but I feel like once you start saying, pro-Trump, that's weird to me.
One thing's for sure. I don't think a career politician is going to be the one to fix corruption.
That's why I don't engage in politics.
Yeah,
honestly, I don't engage. Yeah, because I have no hope.
Yeah. And I'm doing like my first ever sit-down interview style like this. I'm here with my friend Brittney from Africa.
Brittney in Africa.
Perfect, because we like to laugh a lot on my channel, and we like to just be easy and cool and good. And Brittney's from Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
And then you went to Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Yeah, what do we know about Atlanta? Tell us something about Atlanta. Atlanta history even, a little bit.
Atlanta's popular for the wings and the strippers.
Okay, and what was Atlanta known for earlier?
Civil rights movement.
Yeah, isn't Atlanta like a southern black mecca?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The hub of black intellectualism that some people say. I think it's DC, to be honest. But
okay. It was a place that people definitely went to do business and be within, you know, a black community environment and all that. Yeah, I know that about Atlanta. I haven't ever got to explore Atlanta, but I've driven through it, I don't know, 3 or 4 times going to Jacksonville, Florida when I was down there in the Navy. So
Atlanta's great.
Yeah, it definitely looks beautiful. I love a lot of the music culture that came out of there.
Yeah.
Not all.
Atlanta's running hip hop right now.
Yeah, they definitely, you know, when I think hip hop, obviously we got New York, Atlanta, Houston, Cali.
Yeah, I would say that's about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, Meek Mill's the only person out of Philly.
Yeah, and Philly, that's like New York.
Chicago-ish. Chicago.
Yeah, if you're into the flavor. And, you know, Kansas City, we got Tech 9. That's our one claim to fame. He's like #1 independent selling rapper ever. And he never went mainstream. And he was dropping like 1 album a year for the longest. And
wow.
We had, so, you know, Midwest is known for chop. Oh, yeah, we got to say Chicago for Twista and for chopper music. That chop, super fast.
I'm thinking like Chief Keef.
Yeah.
And like Lil Durk.
Yeah, I'm rocking. Yeah, you're 29, right?
Yeah,
I'm 36.
I'm 29.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Twista when I think Chicago, and Kanye came out of Chicago.
Twista?
Oh, Twista, Kanye, and Lupe. That's my Chicago.
Yeah.
I love Lupe.
Yeah.
Lupe goes super hard, and he never had to be gangster about it. Like, I love his messaging and all that. So anyway, Brittney, she's from Atlanta. How did you end up in Africa? Tell us, why are you Brittney in Africa? How did that go down?
I was dating a Ghanaian who I started dating in Atlanta. And he was like, dang, girl, you never been like to Africa? And I was like, no, I haven't. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to take you. So he took me to Ghana.
You met him in Atlanta?
Yeah, I met him in Atlanta.
Okay.
And he took me to Ghana, and it was lit. I was like, dang, it's lit out here. Like, this is not, and my whole family was like, oh my God, you're going to Africa? Like, make sure he doesn't sell you over there. And like, are you going to come back safely? They were calling me. They were genuinely worried.
Yeah.
Until I got there, and then they started seeing my stories, and they were like, damn, girl, is that a Mercedes?
You coming to Ghana, it didn't have anything to do with the year of the return or the marketing of Ghana to Black Americans?
I came before that.
You came before that?
Yeah, I came before the year of return.
Okay. Yeah, because Ghana's a trendy place to come to.
No, I didn't like, oh my God, let me go to Ghana to repack. That was not really on my mind until I got to Ghana, and then was like, dang, it's lit. And then I just started going back. And then even after me and him broke up, I just was like, I really like Africa. So really, I just applied for an international job.
Yeah.
I wanted to teach in Europe.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So
where in Europe? You had a particular place?
I really wanted to do Amsterdam or London.
Where?
And I even, before Corona, had like a whole Euro trip planned.
Wow.
Where I was doing like 5 European cities.
Yeah.
And then like, during COVID, I just had this like, this Pan-African like revolution in my head.
Yeah.
And was just like, yo, actually, I'm not fucking with it.
Yeah.
So I got a job in Kenya.
Yeah.
And it's just been lit since.
It's something about Europe. I've never had a desire to go to Europe really, except to Ireland. But I met a Kenyan in Coast last year, and she lived in Amsterdam for a long time. And she invited me to have beers while her kids played at the beach, and she talked to me a lot about Europe. And when I found out, Europe makes me think of the U.S. In the way that you can travel from one country to the next within an hour or two. Like how you can drive from one state
it's like
to the
states,
next.
yeah.
Yeah, and you can get on a train and boom, you're in another country. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So it actually has piqued my interest a bit in Europe. But for me, I always had, more curiosity about trying out Africa than anything. And of course, by the way, you'll have to go to her channel. Once again, Brittney in Africa. We just did a part 1 and part 2 interview. The first one was pretty lit. Plus, we got lit on vodka and orange juice. Yeah, vodka and orange juice. We called it a screwdriver.
It was a lituation.
Yeah, lituation. And then we just did our part 2, but we're just taking Maji tonight. Maji
no, just the vape tonight.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go back to America a little bit, and then we'll get in. We're gonna do some easy stuff, and then we'll do some deep stuff. Right.
All right, let's go.
All right, grits. Grits are the American maize meal, and it's made in a soupy way. Unlike ugali, where you eat it with your hand. You like grits?
I have 3 packs in there.
She got grits here.
Yeah, my mom bought me grits.
So when you take your grits, do you put sugar or salt?
I do salt and sprinkle a little cheddar cheese.
What?
A little pepper up on there.
Okay.
We don't do sugar. That's very nasty.
Now I take my. By the way, I'm giving responses on all these. I like mine with sugar. I think it's because I grew up on Kool-Aid and soda and just sugary things.
That's so nasty.
Yeah, I know. It's a big debate. When I was in the Navy, that's when I first ate grits. I was introduced to grits in the Navy, and we were putting we were putting sausage, cheese, egg, and then there was the big debate about sugar or salt.
Yeah, no. Salt.
Yeah, okay. Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac, because he is an art. They serve 2 different things, so I hate that people compare them.
I agree.
People just only compare them because they both got shot. But they're 2 very different rappers.
Yeah, the media linked them so much, and I never saw them the same either. So I agree, and I like
because I really like both. Yeah,
and I love them both too. I love Tupac for his poetry, and I love Biggie for his aura.
Yeah,
I think if Tupac wouldn't have been assassinated, I think he would have been a great leader.
Yeah.
I think at this era in life, the things going on in the world, I think I'm sounding conspiracy theorist now, but I think people like Tupac couldn't be allowed to be here for these things because he was a loudmouth, and I like that.
Yeah.
I love Pac. Pac I had on my wall, but I also had Biggie on my wall. I had posters of both. Walmart, the poster thing, you flip to it.
J14 magazine.
Yeah, I had both of them. So it's a toss up on them. I love them both, but if I had to choose one for their music, I would have chose Tupac.
Really?
Yeah.
That Biggie where he's like, when I die, fuck it, I want to go to hell.
Wait.
I was like, damn, this nigga is rapping. I like that, the rawness.
Okay,
from Biggie.
He was very raw. Let me ask you this. This is very salacious. Do you think Puffy used Biggie?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think Puffy had anything to do with Biggie's death?
No.
Okay. We can just leave that at that because that's just a lot of speculation. But Puffy was a college boy, and Biggie was a street hustler. They were from 2 different worlds, right?
Yeah, but the love was there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Puff Daddy fan to this day. as a person.
I mean, I definitely think he was an exploiter of his artist, but I think he genuinely loved Biggie.
Yeah. Sawa. So I think I know the answer to this one already. For the U.S., for you, is it the North or is it the South? What do you choose?
The North.
What?
I loved Atlanta, but
shocked.
it's...
I'm super shocked. Is D.C. considered the North?
Yeah.
Really?
DMV is the North.
Okay. I'm shocked.
But Richmond is the South, so it's like very borderline.
Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay.
So DMV we consider the North, like the start of the North.
Okay.
The South, the schools, the property maintenance, it's just like a different area.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Country.
It's country. I love it. I'm a country girl. I grew up in South Carolina.
Okay.
I used to run around with no shoes on in the cornfield. Like, it's cool.
You
but
grew
I
up
feel
like my mama?
Yeah. But, it's cool, but for the sake of progression and being black as well, I feel like the North is a little is better.
Wow. Now, for me, I grew up in North Missouri. I'm technically a Yankee. When Missouri was a free state, or it was a slave state, but it was divided like between Yankee and Mason-Dixon line. So I looked at Kansas City as where the South kind of started. And then, of course, Kansas City had, Kansas and Missouri. It's a city split between slave and free, and freed slaves were escaping over the river into Kansas. Quindaro, that neighborhood is still there to this day. But over the years, I just loved the culture that I found in the South. That down-home country cooking, Southern hospitality. I love sunshine way more than I love snow. And to this day, if I was going to live in America, I was saying off camera, I would choose Texas or Florida most likely.
I would rather die than live in Texas.
Really?
Than live in Florida, not Texas. I would live in Texas, but Florida is...
But not Florida?
Florida is a different
It's a wild
state.
place.
It is just crazy.
No, it's wild.
Yeah.
I admit that. And
Florida is really ghetto.
And it's a small state with a whole lot of cities.
Yeah.
A whole lot of cities. Now, I lived in Duval County, right? That's Jacksonville. Some people call it Blacksonville. It was basically like ghetto and suburbs and military and golf courses. That was, and strip clubs.
Yeah, no, Florida's the only thing Florida has done for me is Kodak Black.
Okay, what about T.I.? Not T.I. Pole. Sorry. What about Plies? You don't like Plies?
I like him, but he's not on my rapper list.
Okay.
He's not a serious rapper.
No, he's not a serious rapper, but I've enjoyed Plies over the years.
I've enjoyed him, but not enough to coin him.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so when you're in America, what's your favorite meal to cook?
I love to cook shrimp and grits.
Okay.
With a biscuit on the side and some asparagus.
Does the shrimp go on top of the grits?
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite meal to cook in Africa?
African food?
Yeah.
I'm really actually good at cooking jollof. And I make a really good light soup.
Okay. Well, what soup?
It's like pepper soup. It's called light soup.
Okay.
And fufu.
My favorite thing ever to cook in America is to fire up the grill and grill any animal. Like barbecue. I love to barbecue. And it's funny I say that because I haven't done it in years.
You gotta get a grill.
Yeah, I want to get an American style barbecue grill here so I can, no offense, but show Kenyans how you really grill
barbecue.
meat. Yeah, barbecue, low and slow.
Yeah.
When you eat the chicken, it falls off the bone. You eat pork rib, it falls off the bone. Do you eat pork?
Yeah, I eat pork.
Yeah. In Kenya, I really like making ugali stew and boga, and if I have to pick an animal, I'm gonna go with fish, but I can definitely do chicken. So I love the kitchen a lot. You guys know that by now. What are your favorite music genres? I want you to give me your top 3 favorite music genres.
Neo soul.
Okay.
Rap, of course, and I actually really love like opera soundtracks.
I knew you were gonna surprise me somehow.
Yeah, one of my favorite albums is actually the Phantom of the Opera album. I love musical like opera soundtracks.
Well,
yeah.
There's a film I want you to watch called Passing Strange.
Okay.
Spike Lee wrote it.
I've never seen that.
It's an amazing film, and it's all about trying to find the real. And it's about a kid in suburban Compton before Compton became hood. And he was that angsty teenager that didn't want to go to church with his mom for the Baptist fashion show. And he comes abroad. It's fabulous.
I'll watch that.
It's
Text that to me because I forget things.
Yeah, Passing Strange. And you guys too, it used to be on Netflix. It's called Passing Strange. And I used to love Spike. I don't know if I love Spike anymore, but regardless of how I feel about him now, Spike has made some amazing, amazing films over the years. And he's, you know, if you don't
all
know
of his
him,
films are actually getting progressively worse, though.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I feel
they're
like
getting pretty bad.
I feel like he's being sold out to
He's
politics.
becoming a coon. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chirac was so bad.
I haven't seen that.
It was so bad.
Wow.
I was disappointed. I loved him like with School Days and like
Old-
Jungle Fever and all that.
Watch some old school Spike Lee joints.
Yeah, that's the best.
And what was the one where at the end it's wake up in New York?
Jungle Fever.
The Italians,
Jungle
the pizza
Fever.
shop.
No. That was the one where it was the black woman with the white. Well, no, that was Jungle Fever.
There was one with an Italian shop. There was tension in the hood. It was a hot summer. The guy with the boom box, he had the rings that went across.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, check out some Spike Lee joints. My favorite music genres. That's tricky, y'all. Reggae. Absolutely reggae. I think reggae saved my life. I love rap. I can't take rap out of my list, but a lot of rap is aggressive, or the rap that I was listening to over the years is aggressive, and I feel like you become that. And when I came to Kenya the first time, there was so much reggae, and I was like, yo, because I already liked reggae a bit, but it's just so much love. So when I went back to America after my first time in Kenya, I still listen to rap even to this day, but I can't listen to it as much the way I used to. Like, I want some peace and love in my life.
No, I like vulgar rap.
I do too. Do you like Nipsey?
Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't really that big of a fan before he died.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
That was a very sad one. I
Yeah.
think I actually cried a little bit.
That's really sad. I did not cry.
Because he had so much potential and so much influence and power, and I felt like people needed that.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was another martyr.
I cried when Young Dolph died.
No, I didn't. The
Yeah.
Memphis guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cried.
My third genre. That's tricky. I like music so much. I listen to all music. I'm just gonna say country, and I thought maybe you were gonna surprise me with country. I still like country music to this day, like more like 90s country. I don't like this like rock and roll pop country where they got
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, tight leather pants and spiked hair. Like,
Well, what does the way they look have to do with the music?
no, because it's the way it sounds. It's pop. It's they don't write the music anymore. Like when I was a kid and you opened up the papers from the tape cassette. Did you ever have that? Tape cassettes?
No.
And I had a paper
I had
booklet.
CDs.
Right. I went from tapes to CDs. In both of them, they have the papers, and when you open them, it would tell you the songwriters, and if you got lucky, you got the lyrics, you know. And I like that down home storytelling, and I feel like good hip hop, country music, and reggae are like cousins. They're all telling a story, and they're all speaking like to the human spirit. So I really just dig on those three. Here's a big one, because you have a lot of produce in your kitchen right now. I'm gonna take a shot of that before I go. Don't let me forget. What's the difference between the most normally accessible American produce versus African produce?
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't see a big difference
Really?
between that and what I usually buy. It's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
That I can say is cheaper, but like I don't know. I used to really go to the farmers market in Atlanta a lot.
So, you're right, and that's why I knew this question wouldn't work as well, because you were wise enough to do the farmers market. Were you never going into the supermarket and buying the produce?
I would do like not the produce. I would get like meat and stuff from the supermarkets and like things like grits and like packaged things. But I've never really bought my vegetables from the supermarkets.
Yeah, and this has been a huge topic lately because of all the shit I talk about my food and health situation. But if you're an American and you want something like African produce, you have to go to the farmer's market.
Yeah.
You have to get it from someone that's actually growing the food with their own hands. Because the supermarket food, there's literally veggie wash that you put in the sink with water, and then you submerge your vegetables to remove the chemical.
I have veggie wash in there, and
Really?
they sell it in cardboard next to the vegetables.
See, and now she's on a side of town that I'm not in, so this is mind blowing.
Yeah, I bought veggie wash in Kenya.
And they are using some chemical here for preservation too. It's not like it's a fully chemical free society. So that's wild. Carrefour. I've never been in a Carrefour before.
We've lived two different Kenya lives.
So she is an expat, or what do we call repat?
I'm a repat because I was stolen.
Right. So it's called repat. Like if you're a black person from outside of Africa coming back into Africa, and then the rest of us are called expats. So that's the English words to describe. But she's working here as a
international school teacher.
Yeah, and she lives, on the westy side of town, and everybody that knows me knows that I'm like super local. So we've definitely had some like different experiences here and different lifestyle. And she's definitely exploring, and we're gonna bring her to some other sides too, just to show a little bit more about what's going on.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to the Eastlands.
So you're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
For how long?
I've only been on YouTube for 6 months.
Oh wow, that's incredible. Now, my question is, what is your objective with your YouTube? What's your goal?
My goal is to meet 100,000 by the end of this year.
Okay. And as far as your content, what is your goal?
I don't have a goal.
What do you want to accomplish with the content that you're creating? Do you have any objective, or is it by the way?
Literally, I just film what I want to film.
Yeah.
So I started off just talking, and then I started off like, oh, well, follow me. So it's just like the vibe. Like whatever I'm into at that moment, I'll just kind of go with. Like I'm actually about to start like an African history series on here too. So I just kind of, it's
African
whatever I want to do.
African
history.
Okay.
African history.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. I think having that platform and using that platform for such things is very good.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they want to grow fast. I think it's awesome that you don't have a particular goal, because it takes the pressure off of the growth.
It does. Just post what you want to post, and we'll see. But I do want to 100,000. That's my goal.
Oh, you'll clear that. Yeah, you'll clear that by far. And I like that you have some wholesome objective. Because a lot of people, they turn to like reality TV style vlogging.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I can't
me and
get with
Brittney are
vlogging.
dating. Oh my God, Brittney broke up with me. Oh my God, we're back again. And I'm not doing none of that. She ain't doing none of that. It's so
people
annoying,
on my channel
man.
ask for vlogs a lot. Like, oh, take us in a day of your life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel so corny walking around with a camera.
And I have that same problem. I can't bring myself to just casually go outside and walk around and say, look at me buying an onion.
Yeah.
To me, it just feels so pretentious and strange.
It is strange.
Like, there has to be some level of objective or exchange.
Yeah.
Or information,
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just not interested. And some channels that I have followed, they've lost me by going into that cheap content, So I don't think anyone needs to be desperate to make a video.
People want that dollar.
Yeah, hey, I do too. We're gonna get there. You're monetized, right?
I'm monetized.
Yeah, I thought so. How long ago did you get monetized?
I got monetized in December.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm on the way.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice being monetized. That I can't say, but I'm not like, oh my God, I need to do I've been doing the same thing. So
yeah. So okay, you're a Black American woman. We've talked a lot about some black and white things and race things on our interviews. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is your blackness a strength or a weakness?
A strength. I'm very proud to be Black.
Yeah. What are some things you've gone through in your life that you feel happened to you negatively or positively on account of you being a Black woman? I guess negative and positive. Surely there's both.
My Blackness, when you're Black in America and you have money, people treat you different.
Huh.
So my parents have money.
Okay.
I went to Howard University. I went to the best public schools. I went to private school before then. So there's been things that I've been sheltered from. My parents haven't put me in racist spaces, or I've never been like disenfranchised, in that type of way.
Yeah.
I was suspended more than other people in high school though.
Why?
Like fighting
Talking
and like
shit, fighting.
just stupid stuff. Black girls get suspended at a higher rate than others who are doing the same thing. So I did get suspended in high school. Those are just little things like that, but I didn't really realize that people are really racist and that people are disenfranchised because of their blackness until I moved to Atlanta and started teaching my kids. And I realized the way that they were being treated, microaggressions in schools. Like, I really saw the way that people treat poor Black people. And I was just like infuriated. And that led me to educational philanthropy, educational advocacy. Because when you're poor and Black, life is fucking terrible for you. And when you're rich and Black, life is also terrible for you, but just not as much. Not terrible, but people are still racist. Like, my dad deals with racism, even though he is a Army vet, retired, special forces, working in the government, makes hella money, and he still deals with passive aggression, racism at work.
Your dad's a veteran.
Yeah, my whole family is vets. My entire family.
This is political. But they're military. Are they conservative or liberal?
My dad is a liberal. He's
really.
Yeah, we got in trouble for in my neighborhood. They said no political signs, but we put out Biden signs.
What? I'm shocked because when I went into the Navy, I had something came in my brain, and no one was teaching me this other than media. And this is me when I was 19. I assumed that the Blacks and Puerto Ricans and other Latinos in my shop were Democrats.
My whole family is Democrats.
None of them were Democrats. And when I talked to them about that, and they would bring me into the office and like give me like VIP conversations.
I mean, some people get money and then want to turn, but no.
They laughed at me like, that's funny that you would think that. But they weren't offended by it, but they talked to me a bit, and I was just really shocked. A lot of military people are conservative, in my experience. So, everybody's everybody. So, funny thing about being suspended, I was suspended a lot too. It was either for just doing something outlandish, skipping school too much. Truancies. In middle school, I was fighting a lot.
Me too.
But I went to a school that had almost no minorities. So as far as like who got picked on, it was either the underperforming students or the poor students or the outspoken students were the ones that always got the shaft. And I was born into government subsidized family, single parent home. And then when my mom got married the second time, I became low middle class, very, very blue collar. And, I didn't have what the other kids have. I didn't have vacations. I didn't have the newest shoes. My first car cost $200 and I bought it with my own money. But there was something in me, and look at us today, I'm 36 and we're YouTubing, but there was something in me that said that I had to keep using my voice. And I wouldn't let somebody silence me just because I knew my family had a little bit less. And that was taken wrong by a lot of the administration over the years. But by the end of my high school career, I graduated within the top 20 of my class with barely going to school. And my principal, which was a woman then, she had watched me for the last 7 years come up through middle school and high school. When I talked to her about sexism from one of my teachers, discriminating against the guys, she was like, I respect what you're saying. And I think it's because she knew that it was a problem,
Yeah.
And that same administrator, her and her husband, who was my history teacher, they actually brought me money to my graduation party. You know what I mean?
That's sweet.
And then my mom and stepdad both graduated, drum roll, as janitors for that school district. And they were very close with those administrators and a lot of my school teachers. So, we definitely had two completely different upbringings.
Yeah.
But we both have a military link too.
Yeah, that's true.
And we both like rap music.
Yeah.
We both like grits.
Yeah.
But you take salt and I take sugar.
Yeah, I don't know if you like grits if you put sugar on it, my
Hey,
guy.
if you can fix one thing in the world, what is it going to be? Only one thing. What would you fix in the world? It's tricky, I know. I have my answer already.
I would make sure that every child has a quality education.
Okay. I'm going to help you with that one. I think my answer is better.
What?
Corruption. I think if corruption could truly be eradicated, if there was a magic button to end corruption, I think all of our problems would go away. The starvation, the discrimination, racism, lack of sidewalks in Kenya, just every last thing that's going on. And I'm corruption is a popular word in Africa, but it is very much in the culture of the Western world. It is the world, as far as I'm concerned. So I choose
that's a good
corruption.
one. I agree.
I just think it would solve everything. And money corrupts innocent people. Power corrupts innocent people. So.
I was gonna say, it'll never happen.
I haven't lost hope. And maybe it's naive, but I'm gonna do another vlog about this one soon. But I think we're at a time in human history right now, world history, that's completely unprecedented. And of all the atrocities we've seen over history, I think we've never seen something like what we're seeing now.
I don't believe so.
That's okay. I think that there's a huge spiritual battle going on when it involves, and I got to be careful because I'm trying to get monetized. I think there's a huge spiritual battle going on whenever people are being forced to take certain drugs that affects their ability to work and to cross borders and many other things. And there's so many other identity politics being mixed into it to try to drive the narrative. So for me, I just think where I'm going is I think we're in a battle of good versus evil, and I think that good is going to win.
Yeah.
It might sound naive, but that's like the social justice warrior in me that hasn't died yet. As much as I've kind of shifted conservative in my politics, I think that things can be okay. So we have to hope for the best.
And prepare for the worst.
Do you have faith? Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I'm Catholic.
Okay. Yeah, you're Catholic, but do you have faith?
Yeah, I believe in the Lord, our Jesus Christ, Savior, the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah. And I'm not religious, but I very much believe in God, but I don't believe God's a guy in the sky. But I don't think I would be here where I am today.
I definitely believe in God.
Without faith.
Yeah,
If I didn't have faith,
there's somebody up there because it's been some bad days.
Yeah, and I think when you say up there, like it's definitely a power above us. I see it that way. But I don't believe like in a guy with a throne and clouds.
Yeah,
I think
because God is a woman.
And it could be a woman with a throne and clouds. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or could be non-binary.
Yeah, exactly. God is non-binary.
Maybe,
I thought you said that you don't believe in all that, though. No?
I don't. I'm just saying, like, but maybe God doesn't have a gender.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, they hemmed him, but it's a thing. It's a feeling. Yeah.
One thing I know for sure is there's energy flowing within us and between all of us, and it doesn't die. And it's someone very, very close to me. I can't tell the whole story, but
Why not?
It's not time yet. It'll come. But someone very, very close to me, who's Kenyan, was visited in her sleep.
Your girlfriend?
No, was visited in her sleep by my grandmother and my stepfather that just passed.
Oh, that's sad.
And Grandma introduced Pops, my stepdad, to her by his name. And I've never told her his name.
And it sounds like she's doing some voodoo over there, child.
No, it ain't voodoo. I just think it's God. And I think there's God within all of us.
Amen.
And I think we never go away.
I totally believe that. Yeah, energy is never destroyed.
Yeah.
Spirits are never destroyed. They're released.
So, which celebrity death affected you the most? It's a tricky one. I'm not even sure if I have an answer.
I would say, honestly, as of recently, Young Dolph, it really, really fucked me up because he was a good black man who loved his black family and did a lot for the black community. And they shot this man down like a dog.
In a cookie shop.
Yeah. And
who was he shot by?
Who was he shot by?
I don't know.
Two niggas on the street. Yeah.
So it was just some hood shit.
Just some hood shit.
Like with Nipsey, it was hood shit.
Yeah, just some hood. I'm so tired of black men who are good men and even bad men. Black men in general. I'm tired of them being shot and killed.
I'm tired of seeing it too, because there's a lot of amazing black men we've known that reach celebrity status and financial status, which gives you power.
Yeah.
And then they get knocked off.
Yeah, I'm so tired of black rappers. Like, you don't see white country music stars and shit getting shot down.
Yeah.
Like, Latino artists getting shot down. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's a big topic I think we could maybe discuss another time, or...
Yeah, let's chat soon.
Yeah. This one might sound weird, but I think this death I think had the biggest effect on my life. Was Malcolm X, and it happened before we were born. But when I was in Florida, this guy that I was in the Navy with, he gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X. He gifted it to me.
You don't think Malcolm X was a racist?
No.
I like him, but I feel like you would call him a racist because he...
No. I know, it's confusing. I went through his journey with him. So I got that book in Florida. I opened up the first chapter and I read it, and it was like, I was like, yo, I'm not there in life right now. I can't read this right now. It was about, his early life. And when I got to Kansas City, I had been dating black women for about 4 years at that point. And when I got to Kansas City, I started meeting a lot of local black men that had never been in the military. They had never had a government check. They were just local guys, they graduated and they were working, or they were artists, And I realized that the black guys I was cool with in the Navy were different than these guys. There was something non-relatable. And I started to feel like a certain guilt for like having involvement with black women, but not having... I felt like there was something I wasn't understanding about the black man, So I spent summer 2009, that whole summer, reading that book, and that's a big...
I love
book.
that for you.
That's a big book, boy.
Yeah, I really love that for you.
And thank you.
And that's a good thing. I like that you said that even about Kenyan women, how you date Kenyan women, but you yearn for a relationship with Kenyan men.
Yeah, I want to be able to be friends with them.
Yeah, because a lot of guys
genuinely
will date black women, or date and not give a shit about the people.
And I see that here. You see that in Coast with some like the older white guys. They got their girlfriend, but they don't give a damn about even learning the word sawa. They just give no shit about local culture. They just want to reap the juice of it,
Yeah.
So that book, I know that's why you're so surprised. It was painful for me to read. He hated me for a long time.
He hates white men.
He hated white men. He hated Blue-Eyed Devil is where that came from. And the sad part for me is when I hear Americans talk about Blue-Eyed Devil, it tells me you didn't read the whole book.
Do you like Dr. Omar?
No.
Dr. Umar?
No. What happened to him? Did he fade out?
Oh no,
I forgot
still
about
follow him.
Really?
I think he's really entertaining.
I haven't seen him in a long time. But maybe it's because I've changed a lot of my network.
Yeah.
I was seeing a bit more of him. Last time I saw him was like the scandal he had when he was raising money for the all-black
for the school that's never going to be built.
And it's still never been built?
No.
That's why. Malcolm went through a healing process when he went on the Hajj, which is what all Muslims aspire to do. And he prayed with blue-eyed Muslims, and he realized, wait a minute, So that book was super powerful, so powerful that when they assassinated him, I was very sad, right? Mm-hmm. And before I came to Kenya, I said, I have to go to the Big Apple of America. I have to go to the home of hip-hop. I have to go to where my great-grandparents came through on an immigrant boat. I have to go see this place, the brick and mortar. So I went to New York for 8 days. And I had a long list of places I wanted to try to visit. And the only particular place I made it to was the place where Malcolm was eulogized. He was a Muslim, but the Muslims killed him. A pastor, a preacher, a bishop, I think it was a bishop Christian, gave him the eulogy. And for me, that just killed me that he could do so much for his organization of black Muslims in America, and not only will they kill you, but they won't bury you. And that spoke so loud to me. So when I went to this church, it's on a block. This is New York. It's not like standing alone, like in Missouri or something. And I was like, I think this is the place. And there was an office attached to it on the corner. I knock on the door, and this lady cracks the door open, like suspiciously. I said, hey, is this... And as soon as I started to say, is this the place? She starts to shake her head yes, and she looked like she wanted to cry. And the place was being dismantled. It was in ruins. And I'm like, where's the respect? Y'all quote him. You post a picture of him with a rifle by the window. Any means necessary. And there's a speech with Malcolm. And I mentioned this on our interview when people are shocked that I support Trump. But I said to the guy, Zach from Atlanta, I said, in 2020, we needed Malcolm alive more than ever, because there's an interview where he says the biggest enemy to the black man in America is the white liberal. So Malcolm, from his book to how he died to what I learned about him, where he stood politically, that he was a conservative, has been profound in my life. Whenever we left that church,
I think you have an obsession with labeling political things. Like,
when I say conservative, I simply mean the people looking out for themselves, number one.
Is that a conservative trait?
And not always looking outward. Yeah, in today's political climate, yes. Instead of always looking outward. You know, that's the way whenever I say conservative, that's how I mean it.
Okay.
Because I'm liberal at heart. I care about people.
I was going to say, I don't know if I would count him as a conservative, but...
I would consider all Muslims to be conservative. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They're going by law. You know what I mean? They're not out in the world dilly-dallying. Obviously, Muslims aren't perfect, just like Christians, but the tenets that they're striving to live by or supposed to live by are definitely conservative. So whenever we left there, I'm with my Haitian friend that was taking me around. We're on a city bus going to pick up a bag of smoke there in Harlem, because this is all in Harlem. I start crying like a baby, you know, like it was just so sad, you know. I couldn't understand how they could do that to somebody like that. And now today, when I see people misuse his words and misuse his image, I just wish like hell that people will go watch his interviews and kind of wake up a little bit politically about what you're doing and not doing. So you chose Young Dolph. I chose Malcolm.
Because there's interviews of him where he's literally like, we don't need them. Start your own businesses. I know. So it's kind of confusing for me, because you talk about racial pluralism and like, oh, the black people are the people who are the most critical. Malcolm X did not like white people.
And he changed at the end of the book. He lightened his whole stance. What they wanted Malcolm to do was to breed the racism into the culture. And whenever he started stepping away from that, when he went through that healing, I went through that healing with him. When I read that book, I'm the blue-eyed devil he talked about through the majority of his life. You know what I mean? So if people really want to find healing, I think Malcolm is really the one to look to. I just think he's such an
read the book.
Important figure. Oh my God.
I'll read it.
Please do. It's going to take a while, but it'll work for you. And absolutely, I think black folk should put a focus on making their own business and supporting each other's businesses rather than like taking their money out of their own community so quickly.
Yeah, they did that in Tulsa, and what happened?
I agree with that completely. I understand there's
Rosewood, Tulsa.
Yes, there's some different incidents, and then there's Seneca Village in New York, right? But nonetheless, even on a micro level, it's still struggling to happen, because I watch it in Kansas City so much. And I watch people get the money and then they take it out of the community so quick. I used to actually try to be a bit of an advocate for some of those notions until I realized that I'm a white guy saying these things and y'all ain't even doing it yourselves. So that's when I stepped away.
Yeah, facts.
What's up with America? And this is very general. I don't know how this will go. What's up with America in 5 sentences or less?
I think right now America is in a civil war ideologically.
Sure, yeah.
It's a turning point. Black people are tired, and we're just not with the shits no more. I think that there's a lot of inclusivity. Things are coming to the table. Rights for gays, rights for Latinos. I think that the oppressed are no longer accepting systematic oppression and things are gonna change. Sometimes it's darkest before the dawn, and this is the dark.
I think it's also most definitely darkest before the dawn. And as a white guy, I grew up in a culture of people that have been sick of the bullshit for a long time. And I know that the media narrative creates this idea that white people must be doing good and not tired of anything. And the same thing in Kenya, people thinking that we're all rich. You know, I grew up in a household or around white households where when the dad was leaving to work, he said he's off to the plantation. I don't know if that's offensive to you or not, but the purpose of saying that word is they feel like they are a slave to the job and that's all that their life really is. And they're still managing to find a struggle with paying a mortgage because there's repairs needing done on that. There's, you know, like when you're a homeowner and the roof falls in. You know, my pops bought a house in 1985 that we moved into when I was 6. In my senior year of high school, we had bowls in the house catching water coming through the roof. We white. And he's a veteran, and there was no single program. We even applied to one of those TV shows where they come and fix your house. There was no program for us. So the word oppression, yes. I think anybody that's being oppressed is definitely fed up. But what's the solution? Who do we go for the solution? Do you have any suggestions about who could be president next? Any idea?
I was pushing for Brittney, like I told you. I mean, who could be next? Kamala? I don't even care. I'm not into politics. I feel like the same thing is going to happen regardless of who is president, to be honest. Even with Obama, it was a letdown. But this isn't even about politics for me. It's just concerning when you're defending a man who is hateful.
I think everything's been twisted and contorted, taken out of context so much.
I don't know. It seems like white. And
I'm not going to. There's nothing about a white loyalty to a rich New York.
I didn't say white loyalty.
There's nothing about a loyalty to his color. I didn't like him.
I didn't say loyalty.
I didn't like him either in the beginning. I only chose to like him because he was the first president to ever use the word corruption. And if I was going to fix one thing in this world, it would be corruption. And of course he skipped taxes because anybody, you know who I just learned taxes from Trump? Waka Flocka Flame. Is on YouTube. Trump said you start your LLC, you get your C Corp, you get your trust, you get your trust of your trust, your trust. Is that smart business or is it criminal?
It's criminal.
Yeah, it's actually completely legal. And
then why didn't he want to show his tax returns?
Every president they make a drama out of tax returns. It's the silliest.
So why didn't he want to show them if he's an honest guy?
I don't follow those dramas. I only look at the speeches.
I don't know. For me, it's
I look at
like I said, it's
policies.
not about politics. It's just the fact that he has said racially charged things and he is out of pocket, which I cannot support somebody like that.
It's how you take it.
Yeah.
You know, I took Biden way worse than anything Trump ever said.
That's crazy to me, but
I really did.
Be blessed on that.
He said he's used to black kids because he's used to cockroaches.
Oh my God.
Trump
has said equally.
He called black kids cockroaches.
Trump has called Mexicans what?
When he said gangs and rapists.
He called West Africa what?
I don't know. I didn't check that quote.
Well, that's my point.
But
we got to move on from Trump.
Yeah, well, I didn't even bring him up.
It's me. Well,
you cut off the "What's up with America" thing.
I'm sorry.
You said your piece about people who are tired of oppression. I said the same thing, and then you started going off on Trump. I didn't even mention Trump.
I think you did mention Trump. But I'm not tripping about it.
If I did, I wasn't trying to go deep in. Like, I was simply saying that we're tired of oppression and bullshit and a corrupt government. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm sure him and every Kenyan is sick of fucking corruption.
I get that. And you can be tired of that without supporting someone who's an ass. You could say, I want someone who is against corruption, but I feel like once you start saying, pro-Trump, that's weird to me.
Well, one thing's for sure. I don't think a career politician is going to be the one to fix corruption.
That's why I don't engage in politics.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't engage. Yeah, because I have no hope.
Yeah. Okay, we covered Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
You went to Ghana because you had a boyfriend from Ghana that you met in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So you know about like the return to Ghana.
Yeah.
Whole marketing thing that everybody was doing.
Yeah, that makes me happy for them though.
Did you see that going well in Ghana for people, or was it more of a marketing thing that wasn't working out? Was it worth the hype? Is it gonna work out in the end?
I think it was worth the hype, and I think it's good to bring. I'm glad it was kind of corny for a little, but I'm glad that it brought that attention and the tourism there because they need that. And I think that the exposure, the oh my God, look, it is like this, like increases tourism to West Africa, period, which is a good thing. But I've heard that it's made Ghana more expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually kind of fucked things up for Ghanaians who are actually living there.
Yeah, it's like a big inflation going on over there.
Yeah, super. Accra is expensive. When I went back to Accra, in even January, this January, I was like floored because my dollar goes so much further in Kenya than Accra. I mean, in Accra, I felt like I was in damn New York, to be honest. Hey, it was expensive. Really? Yes, I'm not joking. I'm not. My Airbnb for 3 days was like 500, 600.
That's insane because here Airbnb can be $10.
That's what I'm saying. Google hotels there. Google the hotel next to the airport. Google just anything. I mean, of course, you can live cheap on the streets, like eating with the food. The food is still cheap, but just day-to-day things. Even me Ubering was way more expensive here than it ever is in Kenya. Wow. If I have a $10 ride in Kenya, I'm like going far.
Right.
It was like a $10 ride that was not even far.
So you're completely satisfied with shifting to Kenya from Ghana?
I do both. Like, I'm going to be in Ghana all summer.
But where do you want to make your forever home? Or is that in Africa? Is it in these two countries?
It's in Africa, but I don't know where.
Yeah.
I don't plan on staying in Kenya for longer than like 5 years probably. Oh. And then I'll move on to another country.
But no idea where yet?
No idea yet. Well, I had to get a job.
Yeah.
But international school teaching is easy to bounce.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go pretty much anywhere.
I'm ready for you've been to West Africa.
No.
You would love it. You would
I think
love
I would like
it. You would really, really love it. You need to go.
It's goals for me. And I think regardless of like which business angles I'm taking, I really plan on my YouTube taking me.
I see you doing well.
I just want my YouTube to go all the way to where I can be like the other guys that are managing to travel. But as a white dude, I don't plan to be the guy that travels to be condescending and salacious and make people look stupid.
I think that your YouTube
and I see so
better.
much of that. I just see so much of that. I feel like people are using the places they travel negatively, and it's making them money. But I just want to do some responsible journalism.
Yeah, and I think that your ability to connect with people like real time on the streets, makes it authentic and makes people want to feel like more into it, like it's not the touristy vibe, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think
that
would be awesome.
And I'm glad you said that because that's why, like, I never felt like pressure to start filming in Kenya so quickly, because I felt like I had to learn where I was filming before I started pointing cameras. And even now that like I'm pretty hip to a lot of the culture, I still don't know all Swahili, and I'm still not gonna just go in the streets and start pointing my camera. As a photographer, some people are assholes and they say, you're in public, you have no expectation of privacy. That's such a arrogant thing to say. Actually, one of my Kenyan homies, I'm not going to say your name, bro, but if you're watching, he said that. Like, I think that's an arrogant, rude thing to do, bro. Like, people shouldn't have cameras pointed at them without consent. It just feels very, very exploitive. And to me, it's ironic that I'm the white dude saying this, but it's my Kenyan homie that believes otherwise. But anyway, that's our personal politics about what we do with cameras. But I've been a camera guy for over 10 years.
When I first got here, I tried to vlog in Surrey, and they were like, you cannot film in here.
Yeah, there's security concerns with cameras. They can be very suspicious about what you're doing. If it's for terrorism, if it's for going to create a security issue, or if it's malicious, like you're trying to sell their place, like you're photographing so you can market it and make money. Yeah. You know,
I bought a drone to come here, and I actually am now trying to sell it. I don't even want it anymore.
You have it?
Yeah, I have a drone.
Mine got taken at the airport.
Mine did too. I had to smuggle it in. I got it back, and then smuggled it back.
We'll talk offline about that.
Let's chat soon.
Yeah, I got to work on getting back.
Oh, it's still there with them?
Yeah,
you better get it before they...
I haven't pursued it. It might still be there, it might not.
It took a lot for me to get it back.
It cost me $60, so if I don't get it, whatever.
Mine did not cost $60.
Yeah. I got a pretty good one. It was brand new. I never flew it fully. I did a little test flight in the shop.
I would have bought a $60 one if I saw it. None of those were on Amazon.
Nice. It was like the size of my camera almost, and it folded out. It was all collapsible. Pretty dope. So what is?
If you're in Kenya trying to buy a drone, hit me up.
Yeah, there you go. Plug. What's one thing that you have learned? What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself since arriving in Africa?
I don't have patience. I assume the worst. I spend too much money. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
It's good to.
I've learned a lot about myself since I've been to Kenya, honestly, in the way I talk to people.
Yeah, I think if you come to this side of the world, coming from where we come from, and you don't learn something about yourself, you're dead inside somewhere. Yeah. There's something wrong with you. You're willfully ignorant.
I agree.
It's an eye-opening experience on so many levels. I think it should really help you grow as a human, and just make the most out of your experiences. I know you're gonna keep doing it. You're living your best life.
Yeah, for sure.
She got a dope ass house here. Super dope.
I'm moving.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful house. You said you're moving, though.
Yeah, I'm moving.
Yeah, she's gonna be shifting out of here. But I appreciate you coming on the channel.
I'll be back.
Yeah, she'll be back. We're gonna do some other projects and bring y'all some more dope content. So.
Yeah, I'm excited to go around.
Yeah,
I want you to take me out. I want to live a day in the life with Matt.
Oh, it might be boring. I might just put her on the couch in Eastlands and show her some notebooks.
Take me to the Eastlands. I just want to see different neighborhoods here.
Yeah. Exploration. One thing that I want to plug about this country that I've never specifically said. But it doesn't take a whole lot of money to explore. Now, obviously, you might not spend a lot when you arrive or as you go, but from one place to the next, there's always somewhere to go, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's always somewhere to go, and it may be kind of far and maybe kind of not far. But ironically, the money you spend from here to Ngong Hills, you can spend almost the same. You can spend the same money and get to Mombasa. So, here, you can go long distances for a small money. It's very interesting. So
on a bus to Mombasa?
Yeah, bus and SGR. Actually, SGR is cheaper than bus.
That damn SGR.
It's annoying.
It's ghetto. It is ghetto as hell.
Yeah, SGR needs a little work. Kenyans are complaining, and I think SGR a lot of foreigners are complaining too. Yeah.
I did it one time because someone's like, "Oh, the scenic view," and I was like, "Man, fuck this." When I was halfway, I was pissed.
The scenic view for SGR is Savo. And you're not guaranteed to see anything, and it's the SGR. The best thing about it is it's the safest method. There's no risk of crash. Those highways are dangerous.
Fly.
Yeah, or fly.
Well, no, there's cheap tickets if you book early.
Yeah, I've flown one time within the country, only once. I flew from here to Diani.
Okay.
But other than that, I've taken buses, matatus, and
well,
SGR.
For me, it's time because I have a 9 to 5.
And time is a big factor.
Yeah.
Time is a big factor. If you're going for time, you definitely got to fly. Next in line is SGR for sure.
Yeah.
But you got to deal with a very stringent security. And if you want comfort on the SGR, you have to go first class.
Somebody told me that the bus is honestly better than the SGR.
It depends on the Kenyan you're talking to. Everything is relative in this world. Because I just rode a bus here on the way back from Coast, my first time in a couple years. And my seat was comfortable, but damn, it was a long ride. And once we hit town, once we reached outskirts of Nairobi, it literally took 2 hours to reach the parcel office in town, the booking office. It was just traffic jam. I took a night bus thinking it was going to be the slick thing to do.
Yeah.
By the time we're arriving on the outskirts, it was the worst. I really wish I would have alighted before we got to town and just got a boda. And next time is what I have to do. So some Kenyans are real old school about it too. They just prefer the bus. That's just what they know and that's what they like, And SGR, once you're on it, it's all good. But getting there and not missing it is a struggle. The security is insanely tight, like an international flight. That can be a struggle. There's a lot of things you can't carry that they'll confiscate. So to each their own.
Yeah, they took my alcohol out my bag.
Oh, you're learning things the hard way. I got an offline SGR story for you.
All right, hit me up offline.
All right,
yeah,
peace and love,
I should have put
Kenya.
it in a Gatorade bottle.
Yeah, you need to plug anything.
Just follow my YouTube, follow my Insta, Caldwell's Classroom. Yeah.
Spell that one.
Caldwell, CALDWELLS. Classroom.
Yeah, and I'll plug it in the comments just to help out too.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
And then watch our other videos if you have not watched the video that's on mine.
Definitely go to her channel. Her channel's booming right now. She's doing a lot of dope interviews. We did a part 1 and part 2. It gets a little spicy. Like I said, we got drunk on the first one. We stayed sober for the second one. But yeah, just come, soak some game, get some experiences of two American minds meeting.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's very, very fun. So we appreciate y'all tuning in. All right.
Good
Peace
night.
and love. Kenya.